So welcome to episode 21 of our Aston Martin Save. Have we calmed down from the last episode? If you've not watched it, you've got two choices. You can go and watch the full episode, 38 minutes, but I promise you, 38 minutes is not a waste of your time from Tuesday. Or go and have a look at the shorter video uploaded yesterday of the final laps of that Grand Prix. It's absolutely immense from Sebastian Vettel. Will that earn him a new contract? We'll have a look at that in a later episode. But all focus is on the car at this moment in time. More importantly, next year's car. We've got 3 research projects undergo now. Underfloor research, front wing research and side pods. We've got a couple already research projects already done. We're going to focus a lot on the underfloor because that seems to be a little bit OP. So we're going to go for that. Front wing and side pods. Absolutely fantastic stuff. All with the aim of making us a lot more competitive next year. But hopefully that'll be a big improvement for us. But let's get into the weekend now and have a look what we can do this weekend. And this race weekend, as before mentioned in the last episode, is in Brazil, in Sao Paulo. Fantastic circuit. It's seen some fantastic races over the years. We have got a bit of jeopardy as well. We've got a rainy qualifying session on Saturday and a mixture of weather on Sunday by the looks of the forecast. So something to bear in mind there. 71 laps around this circuit. Valtteri Bottas holding the lap record. There is the circuit map, as you can see, and the car attributes. Low speed cornering again and medium speed cornering. We might be okay here. Can we build on that momentum we built in Mexico in that last race? I hope so. The expected strategies, we got the strategy spot on in the last race, by the way, is a medium, hard. The softs, not optimal around here by the looks of things, but with changeable weather conditions, who knows what strategy is going to be optimum on Sunday. I'm going to get into practice now, get all that sorted out. We'll see you on Saturday for qualifying 1. And just one caveat, Lance Stroll has had to take a new gearbox, so he has got a 5-place grid penalty for this weekend.
The carnival atmosphere has already started here in Sao Paulo as Brazil welcomes the Formula One Grand Prix. The Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache has been a staple of the racing calendar for decades, and soon we'll once again be watching the best drivers in the world give it their all. The Sao Paulo track is beautifully designed to present an enticing challenge for teams and drivers alike. Between medium-speed S-corners, hill climbs and the high-speed section after Junção, this circuit calls for cars to have a balanced setup to succeed here. With the season nearly concluded, time is running out for the team. Can anyone make a last-minute breakthrough? Can the leading drivers hold on? Only time will tell. Stay right here, because we're just getting started.
Right then, for a change, we're going to show you the first laps in qualifying, because if we have a look at the strategy view, rain is coming within 5 minutes. This might be the best chance to get our guys out on track. And we've got Lance Stroll, who is the first man away and on a flyer this afternoon. He's locked up there. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. We'll knock Lance Stroll in the head for the moment and we'll ride on board with Sebastian Vettel. Now, Sebastian Vettel finished P15 in practice 3. So, Sebastian Vettel looking pretty decent this weekend. As I said, Lance Stroll, it's not really an important session for him. He's going to get a 5-place grid penalty and he isn't really going to get out of Q1, I wouldn't expect. So, be interesting to see what he can do. But we are going to follow Sebastian Vettel around Sao Paulo, and it looks like at the moment he's got a nice clear track in front of him, which is a real positive as well. Like I said, 2 minutes, we can see the rain is starting to come. It's looking very cloudy over the Sao Paulo circuit this afternoon. Can we get a decent qualifying lap in? Sebastian Vettel looks like he's having a decent qualifying lap at this moment in time. A competitor has spun, as we can see. Single yellow flags. Guan Yu Zhou taking a spin early doors, but Sebastian Vettel is going to cross the line for a 1 minute. What's he got? 1 minute 14. No, he hasn't. 1 minute 9, sorry. 1 minute 9.8. Let's have a look where that is. 3/10 off the McLaren for Sebastian Vettel. Lance Stroll heading back to the garage as well. So, we'll fast forward a bit towards the end of the session, see if we can get any more laps in and see how this stands us. Decent lap though, that look from Sebastian Vettel, and a clean lap, which Lance Stroll certainly couldn't do. Right guys, to say we've played an absolute blinder here might be an understatement. Sebastian Vettel, as we can see, is currently P2 on the left hand side. The track is now starting to dry out. No, it isn't. We've had another little splutter in the rain. 4 minutes to go. No one's going to improve. Lance Stroll, even with the lockup that he had, may be able to get through. What we're going to do is we're going to wait a little bit. We're going to see Is anybody else going to go out? The track is drying. Will people start to go out? They will. They will. And we're going to send Lance Stroll out. And I think it makes sense as well to send Sebastian Vettel out. So we'll run it forward. We will run it forward until we see Sebastian Vettel starting to come round this final circuit, this final corner. It's Lance Stroll now on a flyer again. I'm hoping that the track was in better nick at the start of the session. We will see. I would like Lance Stroll to improve, but he's yellow through the first sector. It'll be interesting to see if Sebastian Vettel's yellow through the first sector as well, if we can keep an eye on him, because that'll give us a real indication of how the track's develops, and obviously the rain as well. And Lance Stroll is getting held up behind a Ferrari. Something you didn't think you'd hear today. Lance Stroll getting held up behind a Ferrari. We're putting a little bit more attention on qualifying today, but we feel it's necessary. Sebastian Vettel is yellow through the first sector as well. Competitor has spun. We'll keep fast forwarding it on here.
Sounds like we've had a spin.
Mick Schumacher's spinning in qualifying, and as we can see, I think we've just gone past him there. Lance Stroll is green through the middle sector, so Lance Stroll improving slightly, which he probably should do. As like I say, it was not a fantastic lap in his first lap with that lock-up. So Sebastian Vettel now down to P3. Lance Stroll looking to cross the line. Is he going to improve? He has. He's up to P7, Lance Stroll. And Sebastian Vettel's yellow through all sectors. He's not improved. So what we'll do now is we'll fast forward.
All the way to zero. All the way to zero.
And see if our guys manage to get through. Lance Stroll is looking a bit precarious, but he's not. Both our guys are through to Q2. Sebastian Vettel, P3 by the way, and Lance Stroll, P13. Right guys, it's fair to say Lance Stroll is not having the best of weekends so far. He's locking up left, right and centre. As things stand after the first few runs, Sebastian Vettel is currently going to make it into Q3. He's on the cusp at the moment. He's in P10, but he's doing very, very well this weekend, Sebastian Vettel. Maybe driving for his future here at Aston Martin. I understand there's quite a lot of the highlights this weekend on the qualifying, as we can see, but it may be very pivotal for us, especially coming into the weekend. We've knackered the Mercedes lap up anyway there, Lance Stroll. So it'll be interesting to see if he does manage to improve. I very much doubt he will, but we can have a look at this. Lance Stroll doesn't improve by enough. Sebastian Vettel is now down into P11, and I would suggest, unless Sebastian Vettel has a blinding final sector, which he didn't, that's going to put him down into P12. We'll fast forward a little bit now. But with the threat of rain coming as well, we went a bit earlier on the fresh set of tyres. But P12 and P13, that is not a bad performance in qualifying. Probably our best of the season. Obviously, Lance has got that 5-place grid penalty, but Sebastian Vettel certainly hasn't. Let's get to 5 red lights, but let's get to the strategy first. So strategy-wise, guys, as we can have a quick look, Sebastian Vettel starting P8. Lance Stroll starting P12. Now what we're going to do is, if we have a quick look at the strategy at the top here, gets a little bit cloudy around lap sort of 25-ish. So I reckon that's going to be the time coming in for mediums. If we have to extend the stint a little bit, we can do that. We've got the option to do that. Same with Lance Stroll. We're both going to start on the mediums, go from there, and we'll judge it. We did it very well in the last race. Let's see if we can do it this race. Fresh components really on Sebastian Vettel's car. They've only really had one Grand Prix. Lance Stroll with a brand new gearbox. Who knows what we could pull off. Let's get to 5 red lights. I'm excited for this one.
And now, it's time for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. It's lights out, and away we go.
Lights out and away we go, and straight away we are on board with our main man at this moment in my time, Sebastian Vettel, on this first lap. We're going to get the overtake on both our guys. Lance Stroll, like I say, has not had a good weekend in terms of locking up and things like that. He's been all over the shop this weekend. Sebastian Vettel, maybe that last race has just boosted his confidence, but it's not been the worst start from our guys. Not been the worst start from our guys at all. Carlos Sainz is leading from Pierre Gasly. Pierre Gasly again, people, is someone we've definitely got to be looking at. Fernando Alonso riding in P3, Guan Yu Zhou P4, Ocon P5, Magnussen a bit further back in P6, 7th for Tsunoda, 8th for Lando Norris. Then comes Sebastian Vettel, who's splitting the two McLarens at this moment in time. Sergio Perez, Lance Stroll dropping back early. But lap 1, not the worst positions in the world. Sebastian Vettel P9. I think we're on for some decent points here if there's no mistakes. We've got a very jumbled up grid as well, something to bear in mind. That one. DRS is now enabled by race control, and Sebastian Vettel is very much having a look at Lando Norris, but he's got Sergio Perez and Charles Leclerc behind him, a Ferrari and a Red Bull. So Sebastian Vettel really is not going to be fighting these guys for too long, I wouldn't expect. And to be honest with you, we're not in their race. We're not in their race. We really just need to sort of not get involved with these two guys and not fight them too much, it must be said. Lance Stroll, though, he's hanging on to the back of these two guys, so he's doing a nice job as well. Lap 3, all looking pretty decent. Carlos Sainz pulled out a 2-second lead at the front. Pierre Gasly's struggling to hold on to him, but Sergio Perez has got round Sebastian Vettel, as has the Ferrari. He's lost 2 positions in the space of 1 corner, but that might not be the worst thing in the world. It allows these two guys to chase after Lando Norris in front, and hopefully we can tag onto the back of them. They're battling as well. And Lance Stroll is going to also be told not to fight his teammate at this moment in time, because there's no need for that. Lap 3, lap 5, and we are quick through 1 sector, and that is it. Through sector 2, we're pretty quick. We managed to sort of gain a little bit on the 2 cars in front, but apart from that, we are really struggling here, and we're creating a train. And George Russell must be getting extremely frustrated in this Mercedes, because Lance Stroll is doing a fantastic job of holding these guys back and not fighting his teammate. But Sebastian Vettel cannot get after these cars in front. Hopefully the fighting with Lando Norris in front might allow us back in a little bit. That's the plan, that's the hope. But we will have to see how this progresses. But meanwhile at the front, I mean, this is Carlos Sainz's race all day long. We might as well give him the winner's trophy now. 4.4 seconds in front of Pierre Gasly, who is looking very comfortable in himself. Then Ocon and Guan Yu Zhou behind him and Alonso in a nice battle. But we need these guys in front to start battling so we can start to catch up a little bit, because Sebastian Vettel at this moment doesn't quite have the pace of the cars in front of him. Lap 6, Valtteri Bottas, who's getting frustrated in this Aston Martin train, just decides to spin it. That's not going to cost him too much. It's going to cost him quite a little bit, but the cars behind him not so much. It's another one out of the way of us, and the guys in the Alfa Romeo garage look like they've been working for Aston Martin this season. A little delicate shake of the head from the young lady there, and head in the hands for the other guy. But yeah, Lance Stroll at the moment, he's doing a fantastic job of just keeping these guys at bay. But Sebastian Vettel really needs to get his foot down in a minute, and we're going to start attacking, I think, and trying to push him on. That might be the plan. Lap 8, Lance Stroll lost the DRS of Sebastian Vettel, and as soon as that happened, through came the Red Bull, and 2 Mercedes are looking very much to follow. But I'm hoping now that Lance Stroll is going to be able to use this Red Bull to pull us up towards the front a little bit more. But lap 8, a little bit disappointing, and not we expect it. Like I said, there's a few cars out of position, and the Red Bull and the 2 Mercedes are certainly ones of those, and Sebastian Vettel is going to be exceptionally vulnerable to Max Verstappen on this start-finish straight, especially with Max getting DRS. But again, that might not be the worst thing if Sebastian Vettel can keep with him. Once he finally gets past him and just get a bit of DRS, that might help us along. Lap 9, lap 11, and Sebastian Vettel and Kevin Magnussen are now battling. But that's not a bad thing, because we're going to get the DRS. We're going to exchange it with Kevin Magnussen, and we can keep up with the Haas. As you can see, Max Verstappen is already making his way towards the front runners, which we can't keep up with a Red Bull, it must be said. Very excited for an overtake for P11 and P10, but there we go. So yeah, Sebastian Vettel now, he has got Kevin Magnussen to deal with. I'm not too concerned about that. Lance Stroll getting the DRS from Kevin Magnussen, which is managing to keep 2 Mercedes sat behind him. Fair play to Lance Stroll, not having a bad race at all. Lap 18, and some of the soft compound runners who started on softs have started to come in for their pit stops, as you can see. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton decided he'd had enough of sitting behind some Aston Martins. He's made his way through the pack. Sebastian Vettel, he just breezed past both for our cars. We can't say fairer than that. However, Sebastian Vettel still keeping Kevin Magnussen at bay for P11. Lance Stroll has lost the back of this train now. He's dropped a little bit further back, so we might have to play a little bit of a play with Lance Stroll at this moment in time. But lap 19, not the end of the world. P11, P14, still a decent showing from our guys at this moment. Carlos Sainz is miles in front, 8 seconds in front of Charles Leclerc, who's got the fastest lap. Found a little bit of pace, but a decent way back from his teammate Pierre Gasly again. I mean, God, this man. Definitely, we need to be having a look at this man next season. Gasly and Alonso? Who knows? Lap 23, and Sebastian Vettel is coming in for his stop. Lance Stroll will be in on the next lap. He's going to go onto the mediums as well. So Lance Stroll,
Box.
currently running P5, has got to make his stop. Let's see where Sebastian Vettel comes out here. It's not a bad stop from our guys. We want to be probably filtering him back around Magnussen. Magnussen's just coming around turn 1. We did lose a little bit of time on Kevin Magnussen. Are we going to filter out behind him? We are. Kevin Magnussen looks like he's a bit further down the road, which is a bit disappointing for Sebastian. But he has got 1 lap fresher tyres now. And what is the gap to Kevin Magnussen? It's 1.7, so a bit of work for Sebastian Vettel to do. We'll just push on the fuel a bit on his way out this lap. Meanwhile, Lance Stroll, he has got Guan Yu Zhou for company, but he's going to be coming in for a set of mediums very shortly as well. Strategy-wise, I don't think we're going to get a major downpour, so it makes sense for Lance to come in this lap. So we'll just fast-forward that through a little bit, see where Lance filters out, and then we'll carry on from there. But hopefully we need a decent pit stop. We can see the Mercedes of George Russell is in as Lance Stroll comes in to the pit stop. What sort of pit stop time are we having? It's a 2.691. It's not too bad at all. And Lance Stroll's going to filter back out around P16, P17 even. Back in front of Alexander Albon, as you would expect. So it's not going to be a great race for Lance Stroll this afternoon. It were really all eyes on Sebastian Vettel, but we did lose a lot of time, really. We didn't seem to have the pace towards the end of that last stint, and Sebastian Vettel cannot catch Kevin Magnussen, who is on these medium compounder tyre and just seems to have the pace over us this weekend. But crucially, this weekend, there's only McLaren scoring points in the constructors battle so far, so that's something to work out. Lap 24, lap 41, and I know we've fast forwarded a little bit, but we're fast forwarding just as Sebastian Vettel is having a good look at the back of Danny Ricciardo. We are getting in towards the our second pit window here. So Lance Stroll, I believe we're going to get Lance Stroll in there, I think. Lance Stroll's not had the best of races, so we're going to get Lance Stroll in this lap. So get him onto the hard compounder tyre, and we'll get him onto standard running mode, so that's fine. But Sebastian Vettel could beat McLaren today. He's very much looking at the back of Danny Ricciardo. He is on those hard compounder tyres, so he's going to be quicker towards the end, Danny Ricciardo. And we were very much holding on to the back of Valtteri Bottas, who dragged us up to this pack. But Sebastian Vettel just can't seem to overtake Daniel Ricciardo. He's got stuck behind him. You can see Daniel Ricciardo running a little bit wide there. Hopefully these guys in front battle and Sebastian Vettel can breeze past him here. That would be the ideal as Sebastian Vettel looks to make an impact on this start-finish straight. We'll ride on board as he comes up to overtake Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo should be a sitting duck with the DRS. Sebastian Vettel looks left, looks right, and can't get past this mobile chicane of Danny Ricciardo. Meanwhile, Lance Stroll is into the pits, but we'll flick back to it. Is he going to manage, if I get the cameras right, is he going to manage to get past Daniel Ricciardo here? You would certainly hope so. Sebastian Vettel gets the move done. Fantastic work. And Sebastian Vettel takes an interesting line into turn 3, and Guan Yu Zhou running wide as well will only help us. So at 43, Lance Stroll now coming out for his final stint on this medium hard compounder tyre. Sebastian Vettel is now in front of Danny Ricciardo. Is he going to be able to chase after the guys in front? I'm not too sure about that, but we'll certainly see what he can do. Lap 43. Lap 45, Sebastian Vettel is now in for his final pit stop of the Grand Prix. Are we going to get points today? I highly, highly doubt it. Lance Stroll's not having a fantastic race, either down in P18. Crucially though, and the main thing we're looking at now is the constructors' standings for this last couple of races. Sebastian Vettel is going to filter out in P16, P15, P16. He's got Kevin Magnussen to chase after now for the rest of this Grand Prix. He's been trying to chase after Kevin Magnussen all afternoon and not doing a fantastic job of it. Meanwhile, Lance Stroll has got a Ferrari for company and he's about to be lapped. That Ferrari is not Charles Leclerc, it's Carlos Sainz. Charles Leclerc is still yet to pit, as is George Russell. So Carlos Sainz will have a very, very healthy lead. It's about an 18-second lead from Max Verstappen. It's been an absolute cruise for Carlos Sainz this weekend. But the main thing for us is that no McLaren or no Haas scores points, and at this moment in time it's not looking likely. The only man who could possibly do it is probably Danny Ricciardo, unless there is a safety car. But as we look at that, Lance Stroll has locked up Lance Stroll's been doing this all weekend. It's not been fantastic for him. We'll have a look at it live on the replay. And yeah, he's just locked up there. And fortunately, he's not damaged any engine components or any bodywork, which is what I'm more bothered about. I don't want him costing me any money. So Sebastian Vettel P16, Lance Stroll P17. I think, boys and girls, this could be pretty much job done here in Brazil this afternoon. Lap 59, and we're going to get to see this. Danny Ricciardo smashing into Sebastian Vettel. Daniel Ricciardo has own ineptitude has let him do that. He smashed into Sebastian Vettel. That's cost us. We've got some minor rear wing damage now for Sebastian Vettel. His tyres are cooked. And he didn't even cause a safety car either, which is the most disappointing thing about it all. Lance Stroll now P17. It does make us wonder whether it is even weapons running towards the end of the Grand Prix. If we're keeping an eye on the front though, Carlos Sainz has had a lock-up, but he's still 14 seconds in front of teammate Charles Leclerc. Max Verstappen is in P3 with Sergio Perez in P4. There's not really much to shout about for us, but a key, again, Pierre Gasly, another man we're looking at for next season, doing very well, as Fernando Alonso is. Lando Norris now is up into P10, P9. We don't want that to happen. We could do Esteban Ocon, keeping him at bay, and we could really do with Guan Yu Zhou catching him up, but it doesn't look like he's going to manage that at this moment in time. Lap 60.
Watch this. We're looking
Lap 68, 69. Lando Norris has done us all a favour by spinning it. Fantastic news for us. That means he's out of the points, which we're rather enjoying. If we just have a look at Sebastian Vettel, we did pit him for a set of soft compounder tyre. The soft compounder tyre is particularly quick later on in this Grand Prix. He's not quite managed the fastest lap, but he's pulled himself back up to P15. Lance Stroll P16. It's just 15th and 16th. There's not more I can tell you this afternoon. But Lando Norris is not in the points. None of our constructors' rivals are in the points. We're going to fast forward this through now as we have a look at a lovely shot on side Lando Norris's front wing. But we'll fast forward this through and get to the checkered flag. As we see, Carlos Sainz, he's got 7 seconds to Leclerc at this moment in time. Carlos Sainz on his final lap. We'll fast forward it round until he gets onto the start finish straight, and we will watch Carlos Sainz come home and take the victory at the Sao Paulo for the Brazilian Grand Prix. It's been a race in which Carlos Sainz has led from basically start to finish. Nobody's been able to compete with him this afternoon. Fair play to Carlos Sainz, fair play to Ferrari. 1-2 around Sao Paulo, and Carlos Sainz wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. We'll fast forward to the end now and we'll get and have a look at the classified results. So there we have it, guys, as we saw Carlos Sainz crossing the line and winning the Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc making up 11 places and Max Verstappen making up 16. The top 4 making up a lot of places. We knew the grid was jumbled up, but my word, did they sort that out during the race. Obviously, Sebastian Vettel had that accident, no fault of his own, so Sebastian Vettel, fair play to him this weekend, done okay. Lance Stroll P16. We do beat the McLaren of Danny Ricciardo, which was a bit of a villain this one, smashing into the back of Sebastian Vettel and costing us a bit of money. We're not too happy about that. Drivers' Championship-wise, Charles Leclerc is still very much in the lead this season. Carlos Sainz just closed that gap by 6 points after that win in Brazil. Sebastian Vettel still in P11 in the Drivers' Championship with Lance Stroll down in 17th. But the most important one, and the one you've all been waiting to see, is the Constructors. We are still in P8. McLaren still 8 points in front, and Haas, Key, still 5 points behind. So thank you very much. We didn't quite get the magic in Mexico, and we certainly weren't brilliant in Brazil. But like and subscribe, and we'll see you on Tuesday for the next one. Have a great weekend.